All right, I just received in the mail my Sassafras Science curriculum. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but what are my first impressions of this science curriculum? Stick around to find out. Okay, so I was originally impressed by this curriculum because it reminds me a lot of Story of the World, which my kids absolutely love. So Story of the World is a history curriculum. On science, I've kind of been slacking. I've never really wanted to commit to any curriculums because I just haven't fallen in love with any of them. I'm kind of taking a risk here by going with Sassafras Science. Everything with science we've done is a lot more just like kind of hands-on or nature study based. It's not really like out of a book. But I feel like the way that Sassafras Science has been portrayed on their website or on anything that I've seen where people have reviewed it, it's very story-based, which I think could be really fun and enjoyable for my kids. So it starts out here. This is the text. So this is the story that you're following along with, and for each chapter, you seem to have some sort of activities to go along with it. And like I said, this is very similar to Story of the World, because Story of the World starts with a text, and then you build on that with activities and little drawing things and all sorts of things. So it seems to be that's how this works. And I was just looking at the table of contents, and I was a little worried that, it markets itself as like story-based or kind of like Charlotte Mason. And, I don't really know how Charlotte Mason this curriculum will be, but I was just a little concerned that there's like no actual progression of a story. But based on what I'm seeing in the table of contents, like let me just read some of these. So the chapter 1, the adventure begins. Chapter 2, the African grasslands. And then like later on it says like on to Canada, and then like trekking in Sichuan, and split up by the storm, and then treasure ahead. I don't know. It seems to be like it does kind of progress as a story, so that's good. I'm trying to flip through this here and see like how long the chapters are. They seem actually kind of long, which is probably either, I don't know, part good, part bad, because I just need to be able to fit this in mostly on the weekends. But yeah, all in all, so far I'm pretty impressed with this book. Okay, so also another component of this curriculum that I was kind of debating whether I should even get it or not is the Sassafras Guide to Zoology. And one thing I haven't mentioned yet is this is the level 1 or volume 1, which is all about zoology. Future volumes after this do concentrate on other science subjects. So this one seems to be more of a teacher's guide type thing. So for each chapter, when I was just kind of skimming through it, it provides additional resources that you can like supplement this text with. So that would be really cool to like, go check out some books from the library and get more than just this like fictional tale about these concepts that we're learning about. Also in here, there seems to be 2 different versions of schedules for this curriculum. Now, I don't usually follow these kinds of schedules to a T by any means. I would probably just try to fit it in 1 or 2 days. And there is a 2-day-a-week schedule, I should say, in here. So there's a 5 days a week schedule and a 2 days a week schedule. So that makes it really flexible. I would probably be utilizing the 2 days a week, or maybe just a 1 day a week. But it's the thing I have to keep in mind about curriculum, especially when looking at teacher's guides, is like the curriculum is just trying to help you in any way it can. But ultimately you as the parent need to make the decision on how you're going to use each curriculum on an individual basis. This does seem really cool. It seems very detailed for every single chapter. And this also does talk about the notebooking component of this curriculum, which I'm actually really excited about. So that's actually the next item that I have to show you. So let's move on to that. Okay, I don't know what this word is, but I hope I'm pronouncing it right. This is the Skedat logbook. And this is the one item that I bought 2 of because I have 2 children that will be using this curriculum at the same time. So these are consumable, and I believe the children will be drawing in these themselves and making notes and all that stuff. So let's take a look. Okay, so as I'm flipping through this, I don't see like chapter information. And this again is first impressions, so I don't know what I'm talking about yet, but I think what you do is you kind of go through here, you give the children this, and it's presumably in chronological order. So as you're going, it'll talk about certain things, and your children react to that. I believe this is talking about a kind of habitat, so that's kind of cool, and then there's extra room for notes here. So it looks to be, oh, and it's cool, there's like maps and stuff too, which I love. My kids really like the map work in Story of the World. So this seems pretty similar. It just seems like more like you give your children this and they're kind of in charge of it. Whereas in Story of the World, like this component and this would be combined and you have to print out the pages for them to like interact with. So this does seem kind of interesting, and I'm interested to look through this a little bit more and kind of figure it out. I'm assuming it's easy to use if you can just kind of hand your children this. I do see that there is some writing involved. Like there are vocabulary words here that they would need to be writing. For my younger daughter, I might need to just like write it out for her with like a highlighter or a crayon that she can trace over, but it's really not super intensive. And like I see here, like there's room for notes. You probably don't have to use that. But you know, for kids that like to write and can write, that might be kind of nice to give them that extra space to just write their thoughts or anything else that kind of stood out to them, so that way the information sticks. But yeah, these Skedat logbooks are consumable. Each of my children have their own, and I'm excited to use them. All right, so all in all, Sassafras Science seems to be pretty manageable. I'm always looking for stuff that's open and go, especially with science. You know how it can go. It's like you either get something that just is so dull because it's just books or workbooks, or you get something that's like really experiment heavy, and that's also not cool with me because I need something that's very low prep. But I think I'm pretty impressed with this so far. I mean, this is 3 different components of a curriculum, and I mean, take out one of these. I mean, that's really not bad as far as storage goes, as far as like simplicity's sake. So I think this will work really well for us. I'm interested to see how in-depth the text goes. I want to see like how much I will need to supplement with other materials, because like I said, I'm trying to look for things that are low prep, and of course, as much as I love going to the library, I just can't always make the time to, you know, request books and make sure they're there and then go pick them up with the kids. It's just not always possible with my schedule. So I'm looking forward to seeing how, like, if I were to just rely on this text, if my kids get enough out of that. All in all, I'm really impressed. It seems pretty simple. It seems pretty fun, story-based, which is something I love. So I'm really excited to start this curriculum. I kind of want to start it now, but it's the afternoon and we don't usually do school at this time. And I don't know, I probably just need to cool my jets a little bit, but I'm really excited to have finally received this. I hope to do a review of it at a later date so that you guys can kind of see my experience with Sassafras Science. Do you have any experience with Sassafras Science? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to know what you have thought about it. And don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos just like this one. See you next time.